Hey everyone, week 9. Here we are. Uh, I know I probably do sound like a little bit of a broken record, but thank you for all the quality submissions and discussion boards and best practices and journals. Did I get an aha moment, or a few moments actually, as I was reading the journal submissions that you sent along? And what I forgot was how many times you switch gears. Your balls are bouncing. You're making quick decisions. You're working with parents. It just goes on and on and on the list of what administrators truly do. And what I glean out of all the reflections that I read was that you are an extremely strong group of candidates for being administrator. There's absolutely no doubt. I've said that as I've read your work and read your and responded to your discussion board. But wow, if you remember correctly, I am a school board member, and I've been the chair of the school board for 2 years, and I stepped down just to be a member this year after I got reelected. And so obviously candidates come to us, and we get to determine who our administrators are in our schools. And I would love to have any one of you have their names submitted to the board, because without a doubt, you'd be approved. So, in my book, anyways, and I think in my colleagues as well. So, without much more discussion, we're looking into week 9. And what's it all about? Data decision making, data decision making. Every single one of you have been using data um, to either drive instruction or make decisions all the way through the course in some small way or some large way. And as you know, the data decision making piece, or the data piece, is part of your e-portfolio as well. All of it's part of your growth, and the data review, of course, is part of your growth. So this week, that's what we're going to focus on, is data decision making. So as far as what are you doing in your project, because we have readings, so that's all part of analyzing the data piece too. But think about what you're doing in your work that relates to data. What decision or decisions you have been part of as you continue in your journey in your internship. Write about it, think about it, glow about it, because I know that has all helped you advance as future administrators. So that's what we're going to focus on this week. And then, oh, the best practice, of course, community engagement. You're all working somehow with community engagement. There's different types of community, of course, but this should be a really rich one, because as an administrator, you always have to keep your teachers informed, your parents informed, but you've got to have that connection with your community too, because they've got to know what you're doing. When it comes to your budget, because at the superintendent level, which again we have a superintendent intern in here, but in the board level, you've got to justify your budgets. And if it's difficult sometimes to keep the community engaged, but the more you keep them engaged, the more they're going to support you in budget increase time. Just food for thought, my experience talking here again. So that's your best practice, anyways, about the community engagement. I know I got on a tangent of budget, but it all flows together, as you know. And journal, you have your journal to work on, and then it doesn't get submitted for quite a while, though. So I'm going to close and see you online. Okay, thanks so much. All right. Okay, later.